this thing has rabbits on it, right? Right. And they got sunglasses. This is lit. It even says triple hopped. Look at that. It's oh. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of A Bigger Budget Equals a Better Brew. Today, Kyle actually has something very special from his trip from Georgia. What do we got today, Kyle?
Me and my fiance recently went to Savannah, Georgia, I think 2 days ago now. We went to a place called Service Brewing, and we were very impressed. While we were in Savannah, Georgia, we looked at all these local breweries, and we just, basically looked on Google Maps and saw the ratings on each one. Service Brewing was actually rated 4.8 out of 5 stars compared to some of the lower rated breweries, so that's the first one we checked out.
Oh, and it's veteran owned and veteran brewed as well. That's actually pretty cool.
This is actually a small batch beer from Service Brewery, so I'm not sure how long it's going to be you're going to be able to buy it. But this is actually a triple hopped lager. Once again, it's a small batch beer. I believe it's only about 5%, but it's very high on the hops. I've only had one, I believe, 6-ounce glass of this, but it's a very good beer from what I can remember. I was so excited, I decided to bring some back all the way from Georgia.
I will say I actually like the can design. Obviously it has the black and white on top, and then towards the bottom of the can it says triple hop lager, and it actually has little bunnies with sunglasses on. I don't know if you guys can actually see that, but it's actually pretty cool looking. It's a unique design, very simplistic, and then they just added the little randomness, and I actually like that because it's a play on words for the hops that they used. Like I said, it's a triple hopped lager. It's basically an IPA, but it's an Indian Pale Lager instead of an Indian Pale Ale.
While they're brewing this beer, they actually add hops into it several times, probably 3 times as the can would mention. It's very bitter, and once again, I was so excited about it. I just decided to bring some back for Heath and I to try for our channel specifically. So let's go ahead and get a smell test of these beers, and we'll see you then. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get our smell test. Cheers.
Oh wow,
very bitter,
very earthy.
Yeah,
very
very earthy. I'm definitely excited about this one.
It doesn't smell like a lager, dude.
It's more. It smells more of like an IPA kind of note.
Kind of, but not as hard hitting, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm very excited to try it out here.
Kind of hempy too.
A little bit,
imagine that.
Kind of like a hemp strain in a way.
Wow, I'm excited about this one. I mean, it just
dude.
You can tell a quality beer when you can smell it, and it smells.
You could definitely tell, just from the smell alone, in my opinion, that there was a lot of care brought into the brew, and they made sure that this would work really well with what they were trying to do and what they wanted to bring to the audience.
They made sure everything was perfect when they brewed this beer. They crossed all the T's, dotted all the I's for this one.
And so far, I think it worked out just from smell base. I can't wait to pour this out, see what it looks like, and see what it tastes like.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and find out.
Alright, so we already cracked these open. It has a beautiful color, in my opinion. It literally just looks like a mix of an IPA and a lager. It's actually kind of beautiful in an artistic way. We poured them out. Our heads aren't really as prominent as I'd expect them to be, but of course, you're trying to mix with 2 different things and try to get a bigger outcome out of it. But they're very, very intriguing. The carbonation isn't as harsh as I expected it to be, which is actually a good thing in my opinion. I honestly can't wait to try these things. What about you, man?
They're a beautiful honey color, kind of like that beautiful summer honey. Somewhere in between a lager and an IPA, I'd say. It's just absolutely gorgeous, like Heath said. And there's about 1/4 of an inch of foam on the top. It was about 1/2 an inch, but it dissipated. But I mean, it's just a beautiful looking beer. I mean, it speaks for itself.
Bro, like, I mean, let's just go ahead and dive deep into this taste test. See what all the hype's about, man.
Cheers.
Clink it.
4.8. Very hoppy.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Very smooth, very hoppy, definitely lager-like. It is definitely a hybrid of the two.
Super earthy.
Extremely earthy, extremely hoppy, but it's also kind of toned down in a good way where it's not too over bitter, where the lager kind of comes in and just kind of sweeps it under the rug, kind of.
It has that malty sweetness, unlike the IPAs, which tend to rely on that bitterness from the hops to kind of carry the beer up. This kind of has that lager backbone, that very malty kind of sweet backbone, kind of take away from the bitterness. Dude. It's great.
It's really good. It's really refreshing. This would definitely pair well with like grilled shrimp or pretty much, in my opinion, probably any grilled kind of seafood.
I would say shrimp scampi. This would be a beautiful beer to pair with that.
See, I was thinking more of like a mango salsy kind of seafood blend, where you got like a grilled tilapia, grilled salmon, with some mango chili kind of salsa on top of it. I feel like this would pair really well with it, in my personal opinion.
Absolutely.
But I honestly can't wait to see how it tastes when it's warm, because this is amazing.
It's quality.
A triple hopped, basically IPA lager hybrid. Like, it sounds enticing, but dude, you cannot go wrong with this so far. I cannot see what it has till further review, dude.
Absolutely. Let's go ahead and do our upon further review. See how this beer tastes after it's been warmed up. All right, well, we're here with the triple lager from Savannah, Georgia, Service Brewery. This is upon further review. It's been sitting out on my porch for about a solid 20-30 minutes. So I'm excited. I think this beer is going to hold up really well to the Florida sun. How do you feel, Heath?
I mean, I think it should do subpar from, well, I wouldn't say from when it's cold, but I mean, just in general, when it's warm, I don't see any reasons why it could fail. Definitely a great initial first taste, definitely great flavorful wise. Literally no complaints with this beer so far. I don't think it could get any worse than what it is now. I mean, sure, when it's warm, it's not everybody's like sense of, I can't put the word on it.
Not everybody's cup of tea, really.
I don't think it's like everybody's cup of tea to have a warm beer, per se. But I don't see how it could go wrong, honestly. We both still have a tiny bit of carbonation. You have a little bit more foam on your head, shockingly. Mine's kind of dissipated. Yeah, let's just go ahead and dive into this, see what we think about it, and
see how it tastes.
Go on from there, yeah.
All right, cheers.
Clink it.
Still good, still hoppy, still earthy.
More hoppy than it was before. Ooh, excuse me.
Nice. 7 out of 10 bottle casts for that, bro.
Yeah, definitely more earthy / hoppy. Alcohol is a little more subtle now. Definitely brings out more of a, I want to say citrusy, kind of mixed with a floral kind of palate in a way. Kind of brings that more out. Even though there's like hardly no carbonation here, you definitely taste that a lot more, even though you don't see it. All in all, I have no complaints over this beer. I think it's a great beer overall. They tried something new, tried to make a hybrid of two beers together, and I think that worked really, really well. Kudos for you guys for trying something new and trying something out of the ordinary. I mean, a triple IPA mixed with lager, how often do you see that at a lot of breweries or, you know, even these huge corporations?
And it's only 5% alcohol for this.
Yeah,
which is insane. It tastes like something that would be a lot higher ABV. For it to only be 5%, and it's still like this strong, hoppy, malty beer, it just speaks volumes about the quality of the ingredients that they're using. So it's not going to get you super messed up. You're not going to have too bad of a headache. I mean, it's 5%, but it still has that strong, hoppy flavor that everybody that likes IPAs knows and loves.
Yeah, man, and I definitely, honestly appreciate you going up to Georgia. I mean, obviously you were on vacation and whatnot, but I do appreciate you bringing back some of these brews and for us to test and review. It does mean a lot to me.
Absolutely.
And of course, to the channel, so we could try something new that everyone could like, and even something new that people haven't heard of and want to try. So yeah, if you definitely are going on a road trip, no matter where you're going, Tennessee, Ohio, Kentucky, wherever you're going that's towards up north, definitely stop by Georgia. If you live in Florida, obviously.
Savannah, Georgia has a lot of really good breweries.
Yeah, check out the Service Brewing Company. Definitely
Two Tides, too. Two Tides is a very good brewery.
It's amazing. But yeah, thanks again, Kyle, for bringing in these brews and letting us try these. Thank you all for, coming here and watching all of this. Overall, from 1 to 10 bottle caps, what would you rate the can, and then the beer, and then overall?
For the can, I'm giving it a 4 out of 10 bottle caps. I mean, it's a generic can. They seem to use it for all of their specialty brews. It even says Brewer's Release. There's no real name for this beer. It just says Brewer's Release number 8.
It's possibly that it's limited, though.
It is a limited release, so you kind of got to give them that. But I mean, it's got the bunnies with the glasses on it, like Heath said. I just like to see a little bit more color on the can. It's like 75% white and that little green with the bunnies on it. Maybe if you brought the bunnies up all the way up, up the can,
left the whole lip area white. I think
left the lip white with the green bunnies all the way down. The rest of it, I think that would have been a lot better for this can. But as far as the beer itself goes, I'm giving it a 9.5 bottle caps, which is the highest I've given so far. It's exciting. It's a lager that's triple hop, like an IPA. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. You get the bitterness from the hops, but also the sweetness from the lager. What about you for the can and the beer? What about for your bottle caps?
For the can itself, I mean, of course, it's something I've never seen before. There's a lot of local breweries that I follow, and of course they all have their artistic ways about them. And a lot of the corporations also have the same thing about them, is they want to keep to the simple palate or simplicity of it all. This one I actually like a lot, but like Kyle said, they could have brought it up at least probably halfway to 75% of the way on the can with the bunnies with the sunglasses. But they do have bunnies with sunglasses on, so I mean, you can't really argue with that.
True.
I don't know, man. I really like the can. It definitely could have been a little bit higher up on the detail, like I said, so I'd probably give this at least a 7 out of 10 on bottle caps for design.
Okay.
I definitely respect it. They're trying something new. It's triple hopped. They did a play on words with little rabbits with the sunglasses. For the beer itself, overall warm, cold. For what they were doing, something new and improved. They tried something that I'm not going to go ahead and say that like someone's never tried before, but I have never seen before personally. I'd probably have to give them at least a 9.5 out of 10. I mean, there's ingenuity here. It's something I've never seen. A triple hopped ale, I mean, it's an IPA hybrid with a lager. You don't really see that quite often. It's also veteran owned with veteran brewed, so I definitely respect that in the military.
Shout out for that.
And it's even low percentage on the alcohol, which is it's kind of nice. You don't want something too strong if you're hanging out with your friends and whatnot, so it's only 5%. So like I said, overall, I mean, give it a 9.5. It's a really solid beer.
Yeah, some people are very against drinking high ABV beers because it hurts, or they're just very sensitive to high alcohol beers. This is perfect for them if they like that very strong hop and malt backbone, but they want a low alcohol percentage. This would be absolutely perfect for them, right up their alley. So yeah, we both gave it a 9.5 on the beer. I gave it I believe 4 out of 10 bottle caps for the design of the can. He gave it a 7 out of 10. I believe that's very fair reviews for this beer.
All right, and I guess that will wrap up our episode of the Bigger Budget Equals a Better Brew. Is that true?
Yes, so far it's ringing true to the statement. The more money you invest in a brewing company, the more they're going to do for you. So far, most of our beers that we reviewed for our higher budget, they seem to fit the criteria for a craft beer very well. They're brewed with care, small batches. They're not very mass produced like a lot of the cheaper beers that you find, and the quality speaks for itself. Good job, Service Brewery. You knocked it out of the park with this one.
Yeah, honestly, great job to you guys. I guess that will conclude this week's episode.